appear around the globe. Unidentified objects streaking across the sky.
Wow, look at that.
Home video cameras capture it all. But why do these supposed UFOs keep appearing in the same places? Mexico, Brazil, even United States nuclear bases. Is it a coincidence? Or are these places, these events, proof of UFO hotspots? Sao Paulo, Brazil, 1988. Gulf Breeze, Florida, 1988. Las Vegas, Nevada, 1990. Mexico City, Mexico, 1991.
Wow! Whatever it is, it's something strange.
What do all these cities have in common? There are so many UFO sightings reported in these places that they are all considered to be UFO hotspots.
A UFO hotspot would be an area that represents a high number of sightings of abnormal or unusual aircraft that are unidentifiable.
It's been long recognized that UFO sightings tend to come in waves. In other words, there's an area of the country or the world where the number of UFO sightings increases for some unknown reason.
There are theories about why these areas seem to attract UFO attention. To some, the reason is the natural forces of the Earth, like volcanoes and earthquakes.
The UFOs appear to be observing us. Well, the UFOs have come to certain spots because of what's going on at the time. One of the things that seems to stimulate UFO activity is a major disruption in the Earth.
Still others believe that human behavior is at the root of these sightings.
One of the things that has to do with hotspots is that once somebody notices something, then others are going to look also. That you may not pay much attention to your surroundings. Someone says, gee, last night there were 3 mysterious lights went by. The next night you're going to be watching, and there's a much better chance that you're going to see them than if you're just sort of walking along looking at your feet.
According to the National UFO Recording Center, there have been more than 13,000 UFO sightings in the United States since 1990, making such places as the mysterious Area 51 in Nevada, Washington State, and Florida UFO hotspots. Still, with reports of UFOs coming in from as far-flung locales as Quito, Ecuador, Haifa, Israel, Stuttgart, Germany, and Sydney, Australia, America doesn't seem to be the only place getting these unexplained visits.
Many people don't realize that UFOs are not seen only in the United States, they're seen all over the world. There are hotspots all over the world. Brazil is one of those hotspots.
With 549 sightings, Brazil was second only to the United States in reported UFO activity in 2001. And unlike America, where UFO reports are traditionally met with skepticism, Brazil has a strong tradition of accepting UFO sightings and even publicly conducting government investigations.
Generally, South American countries are more open to this type of thing. There are other cultures that are more tolerant of people's perceptions, their emotions. They're more open to events that may be part real, part mystical, and they do not have the same strong norms, you might say, against reporting unusual or paranormal kinds of experiences. We also have to think in terms of the kinds of religions that predominate, in that if you have religions that make opportunity for saints and angels and things like that, the idea of powerful visitors from afar is, I think, much more easy to accept.
October 15th, 1957. Brazil is the location for one of the world's first accounts of an alleged alien abduction.
Antonio Villas-Boas was a young man. He was driving a tractor in a field. He claimed he saw an object come down out of the sky and land nearby. He was greeted by aliens taken on board, washed off with some kind of a substance that smelled very badly to him. He made him vomit, and he later thought maybe that might have been something like a disinfectant or the like. While he was in this enclosure, a female alien type came in and had sex with him. And then went away, and he was dumped back out.
To many, this seems like an outlandish story. But Villas-Boas' reluctance to profit from the incident lends the tale an air of credibility in many quarters. And several months after the incident, the story gets some scientific backing when he is diagnosed with radiation poisoning. He is examined by Dr. Olavo T. Fontes, a professor of medicine at the National School of Medicine of Brazil.
One of the very important people in Brazil was a Dr. Olavo Fontes. He was a medical doctor. He worked for the Brazilian government. He investigated the case, and he said that as far as he was concerned, it was a good case. It really happened the way that the young man said.
Less than 6 months after the alleged Villas-Boas abduction, the Brazilian Navy has a well-documented encounter with a UFO. In February of 1958, aboard the Almirante Saldanha, a civilian photographer named Almiro Baruna takes 5 photographs of what seems to be a ringed, oval-shaped object. The photographs are shown to Juscelino Kubitschek, the president of Brazil. Not wanting to keep this information secret, Kubitschek releases the pictures to the public, and they soon appear on the front pages of the nation's newspapers. That particular UFO was never seen again, but UFO incidents like that on board the Almirante Saldanha continue to be reported to this day in Brazil. In the mid-1990s, Brazil's UFOs again make worldwide headlines.
On January 20th, 1996, it is alleged that extraterrestrials were recovered in Varginha, Brazil. The emergency personnel were called in. They were able to recover one of them for certain, as rumor has it, and allegedly took it to a local hospital.
According to unconfirmed reports, government doctors perform an autopsy on the alien.
And of course, from this point, the trail goes cold, and no one is quite sure as to where that particular ET or alleged ET had disappeared to.
Despite several purported eyewitness accounts, the Brazilian government, which has been so forthcoming in the past, denies the Varginha encounter and that an alien was ever captured.
Everything that was in any way connected with this sighting somehow vanished. Ironically enough, after this creature was allegedly recovered, there was a high number of UFO sightings in the area.
While most experts doubt the veracity